for this week's report. A solution to drafty windows that can save you money. All veterans tax credit discussed. Making strides against breast cancer walk returns. Raptors swoop into Exeter for Talon Tuesday. Interim town manager presents draft FY26 budget. School updates from SAU 16. And Gabe attends the Powder Keg Beer and Chili Festival. For Exeter TV, I'm Bob Glowacky, and this is the Exeter Biweekly Report. Let's get started. Good afternoon, Exeter. Thanks for tuning into the show today. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and like this video to help spread word about the show and all things Exeter. For our first segment, the Exeter Energy Committee has a reminder about their ongoing window dressers program, which can keep you warm and save you money this winter. Gabe Perez has the details.
If you have drafty windows, we have exciting news for you. In January of this year, the Energy Committee hosted a window dressers community build, assembling low-cost, reusable inserts to stop drafty windows, saving heating expenses and making homes instantly more comfortable. For this year's program, the Energy Committee has expanded the eligible towns to include all of the SAU 16 district. Any resident in Exeter, Brentwood, Stratham, Kensington, East Kingston, and Newfields can order inserts for their home. The time to order is now to secure a fall measuring date for these custom-fitted inserts. Visit windowdressers.org to sign up. A volunteer will schedule a time to measure your windows and determine the cost. There are options that are also available for people experiencing financial challenges. Last year, we spoke with Exeter resident Tom Bergeron, who gave us a look at his experience with the program.
I think it's a great program. I'd highly recommend going forward with it. It's a bunch of things. You know, there's the energy and cost savings. It's a great program to be part of the community, get some savings, pretty cost effective to do, and highly recommend being part of the program.
The inserts will be assembled between January 15th and the 22nd, just in time for a cozy winter. Sign up for your inserts at windowdressers.org or email windowdressers@exeternh.gov with questions. If you're seeing this from outside the SAU 16 system and would want to see a window dressers program in your town, you can reach out to the window dressers through their website and request a build in your community.
The Tax Exemption and Credit Advisory Committee met last month to revisit a discussion relating to whether or not the town should adopt the All Veterans Tax Credit. Dan Monchek has this recap from our Meeting Minute series.
This is your Meeting Minute for the September 24th Tax Exemption Advisory Committee meeting. The big discussion item on this agenda surrounded veterans tax credits. There were two credits being discussed: the optional veterans credit for $500 that the town currently offers, and a new all veterans tax credit also for $500. The main difference between these credits is that the optional credit requires a veteran to have served in a qualifying war or armed conflict to be able to receive it, while the all veterans credit would remove that stipulation. All veterans would qualify regardless of when or where they served. In a previous meeting, the committee voted to not recommend adopting the all veterans tax credit, but after receiving feedback from the public, they decided to open this topic back up for discussion. One member of the committee, Mark Furlong, conducted research and compiled data relating to these tax credits.
And I think I had mentioned it in our previous discussions that I looked at the numbers. Now I actually analyzed it, reduced it a little bit.
Through his research, he found that 92% of towns in Rockingham County have already adopted the All Veterans Tax Credit, making Exeter one of only 3 outliers in the county. Based on trends statewide and within Rockingham County, Mr. Furlong estimated that 56 to 60 Exeter residents would utilize this credit, which would cost around $28,000.
Again, when we first started meeting, that's been the question. Well, what if we adopted it? What is the impact of that?
Right. Yep.
And I think that it's not going to drive the number really high.
Mr. Furlong went on to speak about the optional veterans tax credit, which sparked conversation among the committee.
I think the law is bad. I think it is creating classes of veterans when we shouldn't be.
Nope. Anybody across the board who's ever stepped up to serve in our military is a vital part of our well-being.
I hold the people who fight in a conflict on a different level. I don't put them all in the same classification, but that's the era I'm from. And I feel that those people who were the first to go, who were the first to sign up to go to Iraq, or first to sign up to go to Kuwait, people that are basically, they're always boots on the ground, you know, they're special people. Should it be out for a vote? Yeah, probably should be out for a vote.
I think the fact that it's been raised up and it's in front of us and we have the figures showing that we're one of 3 outliers, I don't think it would harm us to make the recommendation and see what the select board wants to do with it.
I agree the voters should decide, but at the same time, I also want to state the fact that I agree that there should be something extra for those that actually went to combat.
Yep.
The committee opened the floor to the public, where Exeter resident Keith Whitehouse voiced his opinion.
There are 10,000 different stories. The war on drugs. People would drop into the Colombian jungle, wipe out a cocaine manufacturing plant. You think that's on your service record? Hint, no. There's 10,000 examples. If you have all night, I'll go on. I talked to a guy who came down here and asked for the credit and was told no. I asked him how he felt about that. He said, terrible. He'd served 4 years and got an honorable discharge. And then I thought about the person that actually had to tell him no. How did that person feel?
Right.
So I thought about those things and I thought, maybe we can correct this. Or at least get it to the voters to see what they say.
I think it would be a much more powerful thing to recommend this to the Board of Selectmen and say that we really wrestled with this. We had very mixed feelings about it, and let them decide whether it should go to the voters or not, and ultimately let the voters decide what's the right thing to do on this issue.
The board unanimously voted to recommend the All Veterans Tax Credit to the Select Board, where they decide whether or not this credit will be included in the ballot at town elections. The next Tax Exemption Advisory Committee meeting will be held on October 15th in the Wheelwright Room. See you there.
The American Cancer Society is hosting their annual walk later this month. We spoke to the race organizers to learn more about the cause behind this important event.
With October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the group at Making Strides Against Breast Cancer of Exeter are getting ready for their annual walk to fight breast cancer.
We have been around here in New Hampshire and Exeter for over 25 years. It is a short walk, 3 miles through downtown Exeter, and it is a fundraiser for the American Cancer Society.
The walk is about more than just fundraising. It gives people that have been affected by cancer a place where they can find community.
Another reason this is so important is really just to bring together folks that are maybe going through breast cancer right now and don't know that there are so many other people, unfortunately, that are going through this as well. And it gives them the opportunity to just see people that have fought and beat this, or learn from others, hear some of their struggles. The volunteer committee itself is made up of women that have been a part of this for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Many of them either know somebody who has been diagnosed with breast cancer, unfortunately passed from the disease, or they're survivors themselves that put on this walk here.
The group has a goal of raising $145,000 for the American Cancer Society. These funds will be used for life-saving cancer research and provide programs for people fighting breast cancer.
Not only is the American Cancer Society the largest nonprofit investor in cancer research, they also provide support to their community, such as through free rides to chemo for cancer patients, and other things like their Hope Lodge, which provides lodging to folks going through cancer treatment.
This year's walk takes place on Sunday, October 19th at the Lincoln Street School. Registration for the event begins at 9 a.m. Ceremonies begin at 10, and the walk itself gets started at 11. For more information about this event, or to register ahead of time, you can visit makingstrideswalk.org/Exeter to learn more.
There's always a lot going on at Parks and Rec, and last week was no different. The department held a Talon Tuesday event, giving residents a chance to meet neighborhood Raptors. We sent our camera crew down to see for ourselves.
One of the benefits of an active Parks and Recreation program is the ability to try out new experiences you often otherwise wouldn't be able to. In this particular scenario, Parks and Rec hosted Talon Tuesday on September 30th, partnering with Tailwind's Raptor Education and Conservation, giving a live demonstration on several unreleasable raptor birds. We are first introduced to Phoenix, the red-tailed hawk, who, while having some hiccups in cognitive function, is still just as beautiful as a bird can be. Up next was the newest member to the group, the great horned owl.
So his name is Tim. He came from, he chirps. Hopefully he's gonna hoop. There we go.
He had only joined the sanctuary 2 weeks prior, and Exeter had the opportunity to be his first go at a public showing, as comfortable or uncomfortable as he may have been.
So it does require quite a bit of work for him to stay on the glove.
And finally was Greta the turkey vulture, who did not hesitate to show himself off to the crowd. With a massive display of his giant wings, a close-up look at Greta showed how fascinating of an animal he truly was, even with details as simple as being able to see straight through his nose.
Why not?
I think this one knows her name. We had this point in like,
Yeah, we had roadkill cupcakes.
It was truly a fascinating day for Exeter residents getting so close and personal with such majestic creatures. And thanks to Parks and Rec's proactiveness with events for all townsfolk, events such as these become a common find for people around town. If you're interested in seeing more events from Parks and Rec, you can keep up with them through the town website at exeternh.gov/recreation.
The Select Board received a presentation on the proposed 2026 budget and discussed other items at their meeting on September 29th. Gabe Perez has this recap from our Meeting Minute series.
This is your Meeting Minute for the Select Board September 29th meeting. A Phillips Exeter politics class attended the meeting, filling up the room to its absolute limit. The meeting began with public comment, introducing Silas Richards, who expressed concern regarding the Complete Streets implementation, approved to the master plan in 2018.
Our new bicycle and pedestrian master plan, shaped by over 800 community survey responses, makes clear that residents overwhelmingly want safer and more connected infrastructure. Exeter cannot afford to keep deferring action. Every major roadway project is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to create a safer, more equitable street for all Exeter users.
Very well said. There was a warrant article in the last election. I cannot promise that this will be on the next agenda.
Okay.
But we can, before the end of the year, bring an update as to where we are with that.
With public comments closed, Nico invited the students from PEA to ask any questions to the Select Board.
How would you reflect on nonpartisan action in the Select Board compared to partisan action in the State House?
the House is divided. People don't want to talk to each other, and a particular group is strong-arming the rest of their party. So it's even harder. You know, I have friends that I know would vote with me, but in the end they don't. The difference here is that we do talk to each other, and we do argue and come to a consensus typically.
Then, the chair invited the Exeter Tree Committee to give an update on the town's tree inventory. Town Sustainability Planner Kristen Murphy spoke highly on the current state of Exeter's tree life and the importance of tracking trees.
So let me just talk a little bit about the dashboard that we now have. This lives on our website. This dashboard has what percentage of our trees are in good condition, what percent are poor or dying or have maintenance needs. So 54% of our trees are good currently. That's kind of scary. It tells you that we need to be paying a bit more attention to our street trees. This can help us plan where to plant new trees.
Next, interim town manager Melissa Roy approached the board in order to give the first update for the proposed first draft of the 2026 town budget, which marks a very difficult year for many parts of the town's many departments, with major increases in the town's debt service, collective bargaining agreements, and reserve for insurances, totaling a 12% total budget increase respectively. The town departments were tasked with maintaining a similar or lowered total budget to prior years in order to help counterbalance these major increases.
This year, our general fund for FY26 is being proposed at $27,547,562, which is an increase of 12.64% over FY25. When we're talking about our tax rate, the municipal portion of that is about 23% of what you pay in your taxes. So what are the major general fund budget drivers for FY26? So number one, our debt service, police and fire substation that was approved last year. That bond is $1,664,479. We have our Linden Street Bridge Rehabilitation Project for $175,715, and our Public Works Fuel Island, which was $137,158. These increases to our general fund represent 53% of the increase for this year. Last year, we renegotiated successfully 3 union contracts. Those increases represent about 17% of the increase for this year. We are continuing to have a hard time finding frontline staff in DPW, police, and fire. The third major driver for FY26 would be our reserve for insurances. The decision was made to put in a 20% reserve so that we weren't caught blindsided. Unfortunately, that's 20%, and that's pretty significant. So again, this is another 17% of the overall increase for 26. The 12.64% increase looks pretty daunting, but when we put in the request for all of our departments, you'll see that almost all of our departments were either under budget or level funded or right around what they came in last year.
This is not exclusive to Exeter. First of all, just to retain the staff that we have and not have to cut services to the public is a major goal of mine. This number is shocking when you first see it, but when you peel back that onion, these are all things that, I think we as a board are incredibly appreciative of the support that the voters have given us over the past couple years, because this is not a new song we're singing. We've talked about the increased expense in healthcare, which is driving up these health insurance. And I think 20%, when I look at some other communities in neighboring states, it's going to be even more. But for now, we have to make sure that our town functions and that we keep and retain our valuable staff.
From there, Melissa went over the general fund bond articles for the year, with most notable being the return of the street sweeper, the only article from last year that did not pass.
I'd like to do some clarifying. The reason that the street sweeper is important is we have a permit that we need to keep our outtake into the river and our nitrogen reduction. And what it does is by pulling up the debris and leaves and everything and not letting it go into our stormwater or into our water treatment, it reduces the amount of nitrogen into our program. So in summary, we know this is a challenging year, and we've put forth a budget that is true to what our taxpayers have supported at the ballot. If all of the warrant articles that we just discussed that were coming from taxation were to be approved, we would add an additional $426,988,000 for a total general fund budget of $27,974,550. If everything were improved for the warrant, would be a 13.55% increase.
To see a more in-depth discussion regarding the proposed budget, you can head over to the October 1st Budget Recommendations Committee meeting, where Melissa presented the proposed budget as well. The next meeting will be on October 14th. See you there.
In an effort to boost outreach to the community, the SAU 16 School District has launched several new initiatives. Working with our friends at education channel Blue Hawk Media, they've launched a new short video series with the superintendent called 60 and 16. The series explores all the great things happening across the school system. In this week's edition, they traveled to East Kingston Elementary School.
Good morning, SAU 16. This is Superintendent Chris Andriski with SAU 16 Spotlight School, East Kingston Elementary School for 60 and 16. Let's take a walk inside, see if we can find Principal French. Hello, Principal French. Thanks for having us at East Kingston Elementary School. Can you please tell us about all the amazing things that are happening here?
Sure. Over the last 5 years, academically, we've seen a wonderful, steady rise in our state assessments, and we have surpassed where we were pre-COVID, so we're really excited about that. It's been because of a dedicated staff, a wonderful group of hardworking students, and a really supportive family atmosphere we have here.
Principal French, we're joined by some amazing friends. Can you tell us what we are about to witness?
Yes. So this group of students here, They are now currently second and third graders, but as first and second grade students, they were the kickstart to our fundraising efforts for our outdoor classroom. These students, along with their teachers in the back, created a maker's market where they made and sold goods to our East Kingston town, and they had a number of community vendors here along with them to help fundraise for our outdoor classroom. We are so excited about this effort. It's been a long time in the making. We also have some community members that we want to thank for helping us get this started. Our EKS PTO. We had 2 companies donate wood chips, Doug's Tree Service and Noel's Tree Service. We also had a number of families donate to our Kingfisher benches that are going to be out in the outdoor classroom. We are currently working with the Seco School of Technology to make a beautiful outdoor whiteboard for us. So we want to thank everyone involved, especially these kids here, for making our Makers Market and getting the ball started with our outdoor classroom. Congratulations. Excellent. And we want to end our time here with saying to our SAU, have a great weekend, SAU 16.
Another initiative from the SAU is their new SAU 16 community group through Parent Square that lets community members stay informed about important school news even if you don't have students in the system. You can sign up to get updates sent straight to your inbox. For more information on how to sign up, check out the description of this video. For our last segment, we sent Gabe to the Powder Keg Beer and Chili Festival while Dan and I had the weekend off, so that he could report back to us on who had the best chili. Here's a snippet from his report.
The Exeter Beer and Chili Fest was back in full swing. With hundreds of people lining outside of Swayze Parkway, there was no lack of excitement as I entered into the gates of delicious chili heaven. Since I can't drink on the job, my mission was simple. With 11 different chili vendors this year, I needed to find and eat every cup and see who wins best chili of the year. Of course, 11 cups of chili is no easy feat, and in order to complete this Herculean task, I needed the help of a chili connoisseur such as myself, my sister, Lisette.
Good morning, Exeter. It is the Beer and Chili Fest, and today I have been told that we have 11 different chili vendors that we're going to be trying today. Of course, I can't be the only one taking care of it, so today I have brought my sister, Lisette, to help me rate and review all of these delicious chilies at the Beer and Chili Fest. Lisette, what do you think?
I really want some chili.
Off to the races. This year, all the chili vendors were lined in a row across the river. The first stand to greet us was Rail Penny Tavern.
Cheers to cups.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This is Rail Penny Tavern.
Has some heat.
Is it like sweet to you?
It's sweet, but there's heat to it that like almost balances it out.
Counteract, yeah. I agree. This is Stone Face.
Yeah, she said it's their first time.
Very cool.
This is the brisket chili.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I can eat an entire vat of this. This is delicious.
No notes.
Perfect.
Holy moly.
We're going in blind.
This is Holy Grail.
That's sweet.
It's very sweet.
Very good though. No, it's fine. Just walk right in front of cameras.
That does it for this week's report. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to help us spread the word. And head over to the town website and subscribe to the town's email newsletter to get this show and other local news sent straight to your inbox. We'll be back on October 24th for the next edition of the show. For Exeter TV, I'm Bob Glowacky, and this has been the Exeter Biweekly Report. Have a great weekend, Exeter. That was the Exeter Biweekly Report, but now it's time for the Bob Glowacky Show, where I can do whatever I want because I'm the coolest. Oh, yeah. How about that, Dan? Am I right? And that Gabe? Yeah, and everybody have fun. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you. See y'all next week. Catch you later.